shot.
That lawnmower. That's that. Stop that.
Jake Paul might be too big for him, or Tank might crack him. You don't know.
I made a post and basically told Roach. He tagged Lamar Roach and he said, "Look, you're not getting that fight with Tank."
A glimpse into Gervonta Davis's routine ahead of his showdown with Jake Paul reveals pure dedication. His daily grind revolves around precision, strength, and quickness. Whether it's endurance training or intense sparring, he remains disciplined and laser-focused. Every session highlights his drive to stay prepared for the upcoming test, leaving no space for distractions. Rolly Romero shared his thoughts on the upcoming clash between Jake Paul and Gervonta "Tank" Davis, offering a more balanced outlook. He pointed out that Tank's reputation and accomplishments in boxing are already established, and one fight won't define his legacy. As a proven world champion, Davis doesn't need Jake Paul to validate his greatness. Still, Romero admitted that Paul's natural size could play a role, giving him a physical edge, though it doesn't take away from the respect Tank has already earned in the sport.
Paul might be too big for him, but like Jake Paul might be too big for him, or Tank might crack him. You don't know. Like I said, or it's an exhibition. We don't know if they throw at each other or not, or we don't know. I don't know. I can't give an opinion because I don't know what's going on.
Do you think it impacts, will it impact Tank's legacy if Jake Paul were to beat him or even knock him out?
Dude, Tank's a 3-division world champion, 4-time 3-division world champion. At the end of it, bro, you can't take anything away from him.
You know, some people trying to give, that's fair, some people trying to give Tank a hard time. They're saying he should have took a fight with Lamar Roach or Shakur Stevenson. But when you think about it, do you think this is business and look, he's getting a bag, or is there some validity to people saying that he ducked Roach?
I mean, there's still other options, you know? It's bro, you can't be mad at somebody for doing what they feel is best for them. It's the same way Roach feels Tank is the best option for him. Same way that Stevenson thinks Tank's the best option for him, or all this stuff, right?
Paulie Malignaggi underscored the key difference between having size and having true ring experience. He acknowledged Jake Paul's rise in both fame and physical presence, but stressed that raw power doesn't compare to years of boxing knowledge. Gervonta Davis has competed under the brightest lights, headlined major cards, and gone up against world-class opponents. No matter how much bigger Jake may be, he lacks the depth of training, fight IQ, and adaptability that Tank possesses. Malignaggi's take is clear. In boxing, skill and experience usually outweigh size.
I think Davis is more to lose because he's the bona fide world champion. I don't care if he's much smaller. I think Jake Paul has sort of plateaued as far as where his boxing is concerned. It's rather low level. Yeah. He's big, he's physical, he's strong, he can hit. So there is that risk. Davis, at lightweight, you're in a moment where it's too physical for you. You can clinch. Against the heavyweight, where you clinching? You ain't getting out of that corner just clinching anymore if you run out of space. You know what I mean? So it's interesting. But Davis, listen, there's a lot of talking points that I'm sure we'll get into when this gets closer to the fight. Davis can still punch at lightweight. Can he drop a heavyweight? There's a lot to gain there, right? If Davis knocks...
The answer is yes.
If Davis drops Jake on his ass, as much as Davis is the one with more to lose, it's still a highlight moment.
A visual that will stay forever.
Yeah, but if you get dropped, even if you're smaller, you're still a world champion in multiple weight classes. If you get dropped, what's the look? What's the feel? On the inside, as boxers, me and Chris Algieri, the champ, even you, Jimmy, you have fight experience, so we know that the risk is a big guy that big hits you. You're probably going down if you're a small guy if he hits you clean. So we know the risk, but how does it look to the public eye who don't understand that? You know what I mean? The public. So there is a lot to lose, though. There's a bit to gain. I wouldn't necessarily have an issue with this had Davis's career arc been one that benefited boxing. Davis was manufactured and put into a position where he's supposed to benefit boxing. And I don't think he has. I think he's hurt boxing. So by giving him this reward, that's my problem. Why are we watching this? Why don't you make him earn his spot that he still hasn't earned mine?
Teofimo Lopez views the matchup more as a spectacle than a traditional sporting contest. To him, this fight isn't about legacy or rankings. It's centered on entertainment value and the financial rewards involved. He points out that both Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis will earn massive paydays, which is an important factor in itself. While it may not carry the significance of a world title bout, Lopez still sees it as a positive for boxing. By attracting mainstream attention, even a showcase-style fight can bring in fresh fans and expand the sport's audience.
Really invested on it, and I'm actually very happy for Gervonta and Jake. I really am, man. It's good for the sport in some way, you know?
So a heavyweight versus a lightweight.
Yeah.
You gotta fly hit me, yeah. A heavyweight versus a lightweight. How's this gonna work?
Hey, they make it work. It's an exhibition for a reason. So, you know, they know what they're doing. And, you know, shout out to Netflix and shout out to both of them, honestly. Like I said, I think a lot of people in the boxing world are kind of upset. I could care less. I think they're going to go out there and make their money. It falls on the number 8 for a reason. They're going to make a lot of money.
Have you got a prediction for that fight?
My prediction? A show.
Well, clearly it's a show, but when you've got a lot of people underestimating Jake Paul once again, but when you've got a heavyweight boxer who knows how to throw punches and knows the basics against a lightweight, it's quite a difference. I mean, have you sparred heavyweights before?
Yeah.
The competitive sparring in the ring?
Yeah, it's not the same. It's not the same, not at all. Definitely got to move. I've actually played around a few times, went through between their legs just to duck around. But yeah, because they're taller, you know. But I think for that competition, that fight, it reminds me a lot like The Big Show, and Floyd Mayweather when they fought in WrestleMania.
Yeah. And will that end the same way?
Possibly. Maybe some brass knuckles in there too.
Can you see Jake Paul knocking out Gervonta Davis?
It's boxing, man. And if it's a show like this, anything goes, anything happens.
Nate Diaz, true to his straightforward style, brushed off the matchup altogether. In his view, the fight carries little to no real competitive value. Diaz argues that regardless of the result, neither fighter's career will gain any meaningful boost from it. To him, the event feels more like a spectacle built for entertainment, comparable to pro wrestling or staged shows, rather than a serious sporting contest. His take strips away the hype and paints the bout as more sideshow than substance.
I gotta ask you, Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis. Does Davis have a chance?
Fuck no. Gervonta is a great boxer, but he ain't gonna be.
So you got Jake Paul by knockout, or?
No, I don't got anybody, but I don't think.
He's just too small.
It just. I don't want to beat up somebody that small. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying?
What do you think of the fight?
I don't want to lose to somebody that's. There's no point in the fight. It's a great fight, actually. I'm not hating on the fight, but I think. My thoughts on it is let's watch it, see what happens.
Ryan Garcia said that boxing's turning into WWE.
Yeah,
with that type of matchup. What do you agree? Last thing, White House card, like he said, you want Conor McGregor?
Yeah, but the whole thing's on WWE. So
right.
It's like, at least that's happening and it's getting something to talk about, something to watch. And I'm looking forward to that fight, actually.
Jeff Mayweather shares a similar level of doubt as Nate Diaz when it comes to this matchup. He views the pairing as unusual and questions the reasoning behind it. From his perspective, it doesn't make much sense to put a proven world champion like Gervonta "Tank" Davis against Jake Paul, who built his name outside of boxing before stepping into the ring. While Mayweather admits that the financial side of the sport plays a major role, he still sees the fight as strange and in some ways unnecessary. His comments echo the skepticism that many traditional boxing fans have toward crossover bouts.
It's kind of weird because Jake Paul is extremely bigger than Tank, and I mean, but with it being exhibition, it makes sense. It's fine. He got a big name that he's going to be fighting, but I mean, it really makes no sense because he's going to be weighing over 200 and some pounds. Tank's going to probably be weighing maybe at the most 147, 150. So I don't even understand why the fight is happening.
In KSI, who's been part of the influencer boxing wave himself, weighed in on Jake Paul's promotional style. He argued that the talk of a possible Anthony Joshua fight was never meant to be taken seriously, but rather to generate headlines and stir up hype. In KSI's eyes, the matchup with Tank follows that same pattern, Jake creating buzz and attention rather than chasing, true heavyweight competition. His comments highlight the theatrical, sometimes misleading side of modern boxing promotion, and that wraps up today's breakdown. Make sure to stick around for more updates, analysis, and insights on the fight game. Until next time.